Good morning, everyone, or good evening, depending on where you're joining us from. I'm so happy to see that we have such a full room today and that you guys are just continuing to be engaged until the
Hello.
very last day. That always makes
Yeah.
my heart very happy. What we have planned for today is, as you all know, today is the kind of closing ceremony of the Chain of Change program. So I just want to start by saying thank you to all of our partners and to all of our participants, Rollins College, the University of Nebraska, our partners in India, the University of Calcutta, Tejpur University, North Bengal University. We couldn't have done this awesome work without all of your commitment and your work on this. It's crazy to think that it's already the closing ceremony and we're already wrapping up, but it's also really gratifying to reflect on the work that was done here and to think that despite all of the challenges of not being able to do this in person as we had originally envisioned it, we still managed to devise a structure where students were able to learn from one another and to engage in this program, as we will hear later today here. And again, I just want to say thank you to the students because your resilience and your dedication to work with this, despite the numerous times that we changed the structure, really shows that you are all committed to social change and to social work. And that just makes me very happy. So I'm really looking forward to hearing from all of the teams in India today about how the structure and how the program worked for them and how they benefited their entrepreneurs. But before we do so, I just want to ask Dr. Sharmista Banerjee, who was leading the work in India, to share a few remarks with us.
Thank you, Yasmin, and welcome the Chain of Change team to the finale, if we may call it, because I don't think this to be the closing. I think this is the opening of another new area that the students, the academia, and the community can put together. It has been a very good learning for me, I would say, that this project really showed that how academic learning can really spread its wings to bringing about significant relationships between students and their community. So these people in the community were always there, but it took the ignition of Chain of Change to bring the students along with the entrepreneurs and to go forward together. So I'm grateful to Nebraska University, the Chain of Change program, Cramo Graduate School, and Rollins College to have put this together. And I am especially grateful to Professor Balsac for chipping in at times when we were thinking, oh, how would we go about it on a virtual mode? Because as Yasmin mentioned, it was planned to be physical where the Indian students would meet the Rollins students. And we had also got to guest houses ready. So we had gone that far. So going back from there, but taking baby steps backwards, I'm really grateful to the students of Rollins College and Dr. Balsac's class for making these steps together. And Dr. Conway, her team, Yasmin, and all the others who are here, pardon me for not mentioning each one of you by name. You have been so instrumental in taking our work forward. I'm grateful to the North Bengal University and the Tejpur University for supporting us and for all the students. But without whom this project in India would have gone nowhere is Orkodipta and Aisha, who have been two pillars in from the North and the South Pole, I would say. They covered everything which Dr. Conway, I, or Yasmin would never have been able to do. So over to the program. I'm sure you're all looking forward to the students' presentation, and they've done a really very, very good job, I must say. So over to Yasmin.
Thank you, Dr. Banerjee. So at this time, what I would like to do is to ask Arkadipta to share the screen and we can go ahead and start with the student presentations. Just so that everyone knows, we do have 5 teams from India. So you'll hear 5 different presentations. Each should be about 5 minutes long. So with that, I will turn it over to our Katibta and the teams, and they can take it from here.
Yeah. So hello, everyone, and a very good morning to the entire Rollins team at US. So today, I, Sushant, will be starting off this presentation by giving a brief outlook about our entrepreneur, Mr. Sanjeev Sharma's business, that is MS Electrocell. So to start off, we will be giving a brief introduction about our entrepreneur's business. Our entrepreneur, Mr. Sanjeev Sharma, is a prominent entrepreneur from Tezpur, Assam. He started Electrocell initially with installation of mini solar power panels in rooftops of houses, and then he expanded his business to like selling of e-rickshaws. Now he also plans to expand his business to electric two-wheelers in the future. His vision is to achieve a change in the society by spreading awareness about the environment-friendly efforts for sustainable living, and also to make such sustainability profitable. Moving ahead, I'll be discussing the business model canvas of MS Electrocell. Okay, now this is what the business model canvas of MS Electrocell looks like. In the key partners, we have Jazza Motors, the suppliers of e-rickshaws in unassembled form, the local suppliers, and the banks and other financial institutions. In key activities, we have MS Electrocell assembling all of the e-rickshaws, and also, of course, conducting the sales and after-sales services for the buyers. Now our entrepreneur has been in the business for over a decade now, which is why their experience and the employees and the managers are the key resources for the business. In value proposition for the buyer, it is a low cost, low maintenance investment than the traditional modes of transport, which runs on gas or fuel. For public, and when it comes to value propositions for public, it is a cheap and easy mode of transport. For the society, it is very environment friendly. And so that's it for the value proposition. Now, everything relating to the sales, the customer service happens through the retail shop with a little bit of personalized services when it comes to the buyers. So this forms the customer relationships, and the retail shop forms the channels. In customer segments, we have 2 groups. One are those who are physically pulling the e-rickshaws, who are physically pulling the traditional rickshaws by hand or by foot pedals, and might want to switch over to e-rickshaws. And the second are those who are operating the traditional public transport vehicles running on gas. In cost structure, we have the usual HR and financing costs, the inventory and supply costs, and in revenue streams, we have the sale of e-rickshaws and the after-sales services. Now, I would request Kalyani to carry forward the presentation by discussing the SWOT analysis.
So I'll be discussing the SWOT analysis. Coming to this trend, here in his business, he has eliminated all the intermediaries. He started assembling the parts of e-rickshaws in his shop itself. Then second is that he has been in this business for a very long time, like more than a decade. So he has a strong knowledge, a profound knowledge about the market. So coming to the weakness, he has given very low marketing efforts in channeling his business. So this is his weakness. Coming to the opportunities, first point is that there are many unexplored places in Assam itself where he can start his business. And the second point is that now, as we all know, people are becoming more conscious about the environment. So this is a very good point for his business. Coming to the threat, the first point is that in Assam itself, in this place where his business is, there are a number of competitors who are coming. So this can be considered as threat to his business. So the next slide will be presented by Tanuja.
After discussing all BNC and SWOT, we came to some recommendations. First, he needs to focus on expansion into new cities after study of local regulation. Means in those cities where e-rickshaw are not introduced, also Mr. Sharma want to establish a new supply in neighbor cities after getting all knowledge of the city. Next one, we think he should give a look to increase marketing efforts, like the population of Tezpur should be aware of e-rickshaw. They should know that e-rickshaw are better alternative than other transportation. And the last but not the least one, he has to conduct market research to identify possible improvement in designing of e-rickshaw. There are many people who want to buy e-rickshaw, but they also need some features in e-rickshaw. So after researching this demand in designing and services of e-rickshaw should be enhanced according to their demand. Thank you so much, and we really want to give special thanks to Rollins team and Mr. Sanjeev Sharma. Thank you all. And now Team B will present.
Thank you, Tanuja. A very good morning to everyone from Rollins and very good evening to all from India. I am Rajesh Biswas from Team B, looking forward to discuss about a study of a retail cloth shop in Tezpur, Assam. Clothing in India is dependent upon the different ethnicity, demographics, climate, and cultural traditions of the people of each region of India. A wide mix of Indian traditional clothing and Western styles can be seen in India. Padmini, a small little cloth shop in Tezpur, Assam, owned by Mr. Neeraj Kumar Deka, deals in garments, basically the Assamese Mekhela Chadar, a traditional dress worn by Assamese women. The entrepreneur also supplies unstitched clothes for Durham College. Let us go through the BMC of Padmini, which will be discussed by Supriya.
Rajeshri, you can continue if Supriya doesn't have net connectivity.
Right.
You are muted, Rajeshri.
For the key partners of Padmini, we see that the textile weavers from Western India for supply of fabric to be stitched into dresses for special occasion, and the local weavers from Assam are also out there. And the cost structure that Padmini contains is HR cost, supply cost, and the fixed cost of shop owned by buildings, for the buildings, and the maintenance cost. The key resources of Padmini are the young, energetic employees and the artisans from Assam itself. And the valuable proposition is that they have a strong, loyal customer base, and thus they help the customers to, means they have a customer retention types, and the channels they use is the retail selling from physical outlets. Next, we will be going through the SWOT analysis, which will be discussed by Supriya, Sridisha.
Continue, Rajeshri.
As we see that the SWOT analysis has been done of Padmini, where we see that the strength of the shop is that they supply clothes that is the traditional Assamese wear of the woman, that is the Mekhela Chadar section, and they have a loyal customer base, as well as they believe in relationship marketing. And the weaknesses that they have is the image of the shop is being too old-fashioned. Thus, they can't attract the customers like the other customers do. And most importantly, the shops remain closed on weekends, which is merely a shopping day for others. They have inadequate workforce and no online presences of the shoppers there. They have limited supplies as well as limited buyers. The opportunities that Padmini can have is create partnership with other clothing brands and other local artisans. They can collaborate with tourists, lodges, and homestay to promote the traditional products that they have, that is the Mekhela Chadar, and expand by providing new product lines and create an existence in e-commerce platforms. And the threats, the recommendations that we have, for our entrepreneur the few recommendations we have for our entrepreneur are most importantly to renovate the shop with proper trial rooms, increase workforces, and remain open to all days. The entrepreneur may also collaborate with tourist lodge to promote their traditional products, create an existence in e-commerce platforms like Flipkart and Amazon for better customer, to gain more customers. And most importantly, the entrepreneur must be creative with his strategies. That is, the advertisement is very essential and very much necessary for business growth. Thank you. Heartfelt gratitude to our mentors and friends from Rollins, and of course, our entrepreneurs, Mr. Neeraj Kumar Deka, for being so supportive. Thank you all once again. We have Team C with some solar power with them. Over to you, Team C.
Thank you, Rajarshi. Good evening and a very good morning to everyone. We are Team C of Chain of Change. I am Srinvanti Guhorai, and our team is here to present Sunny Ray Solutions, solar power for everywhere. Have you ever thought that one day our world would run out of conventional sources of energy? If we could replace it by renewable source like solar energy, won't we get a brighter future? Surely we will, and this is the objective this enterprise is working on. Sunny Ray Solutions is a government-approved small enterprise in Kolkata. Entrepreneur Sangeeta Sen, founder and CEO of Sunny Ray Solutions, as well as an electrical engineer, deals with solar power. Use Sun, Save Fund is our ultimate mission in her journey. To get an overview of the business, here presenting BMC of Sunny Ray Solutions. Use of solar energy ensures environmental sustainability along with reduction in electricity expenditure. To serve the purpose, the key partners that the business can't run without are the government-approved dealers, local market suppliers, media partners, online media platform, and others. The enterprise undergoes some daily activities, and those are assembling of solar products, installation, maintenance, and after-sale services of solar panels, research and development, and training to potential entrepreneurs. To perform the activities efficiently, the resources that the business needs, human resources like technicians, engineers, and certified market developers, funding by her own capital. Her knowledge in solar entrepreneurship adds value to the business. What are the value propositions? Making people aware of solar energy, eco-friendly products, training on solar entrepreneurship. How does the business build and maintain customer relationship? Through serving people and maintaining after-sale services and cordial interaction with them. How to reach customers? Via tenders in case of government project, social media, trade fairs, and exhibitions. Who are the customers? Government sectors like industrial, agriculture, fishery, corporate and domestic customers, and students in case of training programs. Coming to what are the costs connected to the business, cost to serve human resources, operational maintenance and advertisement costs, and other fixed costs. Moving on to the sources of revenues, revenue from government projects, installation of solar panels, and sale of small products, and fees from students in the training programs. Now I would request Rachana to continue.
Now I'm going to touch upon the SWOT part for SRS. SRS has some unique strengths. SRS ensures that every product adheres high quality standards. They are mainly focusing on the residential sector where competition is less. It has got strong footprint in that sector. It has built a very strong relationship with their existing customer and make sure the customer retention, which also helps to increase their reputation in the market and get more and more customers through reference. They are proactively running awareness programs. Now coming to the weakness for the business. Non-availability of EMI facility besides having high initial setup costs, existence of giant companies, lack of awareness, space coverage issue, and others. To turn the strength and weakness into opportunities, the enterprise can reduce setup costs along with providing EMI facilities, expand the product range through research and development, increase in volume of production, thus reducing the cost. Apart from this, there are some threats. For lack of knowledge, high installation costs, absence of government subsidiaries, absence of skilled labor, all are creating this product more risky to adopt.
So whatever study we have done, based on this, SRS might adapt to improve. SRS should make the increased amount of people aware regarding the benefits of solar energy through more workshops, seminars, social media, and other means. They should ensure to provide loans and EMI facilities as and when required, and in that case, business may tie up with financial institutions to provide the same. They should also focus on targeting the small business and approach for government subsidiaries to increase their customer base. Other than this, SRS is trying its best to create a healthier environment to this business. On behalf of SRS, we are requesting all to be more open to accept solar power and save the environment. Thank you, and our gratitude to the entire team of 10 of 10, and special thanks to Ms. Sangeeta Sen for her immense support. Next, Team D.
Hello everyone, I am Sakshi Rai, presenting on behalf of Team D, along with my fellow team members, Anisha Sarkar, Gargi Majumdar, and Trikal Kumar Paul. The name of business which we are involved in is Sudhriti Hotel and Restaurant, a franchisee of Oyo hotel chains, presently owned by Mr. Somnath Singha. So Sudhriti is a 3-star hotel, which is located in NBU Avenue, gate number 2, Siliguri. It takes 6 minutes drive from the nearest airport, Bagdogra. The concerned business is an inherited family business dealing in a multiple product line such as fooding, lodging, catering, banquet hall, and home delivery. Our team members visited the hotel and had a conversation with the entrepreneur. We were really overwhelmed by the energetic and positive attitude of the entrepreneur. Now, I would ask Trikal to continue with the presentation.
Thank you for the introduction, Sakshi. I will now attempt to extend on this with the business model canvas. To start off, we were able to identify the suppliers, marketers, and promotional partners, among others, as the key partners of this business who ensure that the restaurant, hotel, and other key activities operate as expected. Moving over, we found that skilled personnel and access to a major highway, among other things, constituted the key resources of our business concern. Owing to our key partners and key resources, our business offers certain value propositions through its key activities, the primary among which is providing high quality services, value for money, and a fairly good review on a popular platform like Google Maps. A positive review indicates that customer relations across customer segments consisting of both locals and tourists have been well maintained with CRM and providing special offers. All this is further accentuated using its channels of online marketers and social media. Coming to the cost structure of this business, we find that it includes costs pertaining to factor costs, maintenance costs, and some fixed costs, while the revenue structure consists of revenue generated from lodging, food services, catering, and banquet bookings. Up next, it will be Gargi who will be providing us with a SWOT analysis of the business concern.
Thank you, Trikal, for illustrating the BMC. Now I am going to proceed with the SWOT analysis of Sudhriti Hotel. The hotel is situated just beside Asian Highway 2, but it is far from the busy city. It is noted that business does not have any loan to pay off, and besides that, it maintains good hygiene as well as good quality food. But it lacks parking space, sufficient marketing as well as trained staff. We know online presence can furnish opportunity by providing information to customers relating to business. As North Bengal is a tourist hub, the hotel has the opportunity to tie up with travel agents and aggregators. COVID pandemic has wreaked havoc on the restaurant industry, so additional cost of sanitization is added to maintain hygiene. To avoid employee turnover, a good salary is required to be paid to the professional chefs. These are the short analysis of Sudhriti Hotel. Now, I would like to Anisha proceed with the next slide.
Thank you, Gargi. There are some suggestions which we made for the business. First, we classified our suggestions into high priority, which requires immediate action, and another category which is good to be implemented. Before purchasing any product or services, the customer search about the product or service in the internet. So a good website is needed, which will provide customers with the necessary information. Tie-ups with aggregators like Airbnb and Uber Eats will lead to more online booking and online ordering of services. North Bengal is famous among the tourists for its breathtaking views of Himalayas. Tie-ups with local travel agents to bring tourists from airport to their hotel can increase the revenue of Sudhriti hotels. Maintaining information about the customers will help the hotel understand which type of customer they should target and what services they should offer more to the customers. It will also help to send special offers to the existing customers. We recommend using social networking platforms to run ads and campaigns. We suggest to organize special events by collaborating with local artists to drive more customers to visit this place. Hope this suggestion will be beneficial for the Sudhriti Hotel and will enable the entrepreneur to achieve his goal. We would like to acknowledge the contribution made by Mr. Somnath Sinha, our entrepreneur, and our Rollins teammates, Christine, Emily, Lily, and Max. Thank you, Dr. Conway, Dr. Banerjee, Professor Balzac, and entire team of Chain of Change for providing us with the opportunity to work on this project. Up next is Team E, comprising of Adhita, Rakesh, Shubham, and Shujit, who will be making the presentation of their business. Thank you all.
Hello everyone, Namaste. Here it's Rakesh Sharma from Team E, Chain of Change 2020. And here we are with our presentation. We have tried best to keep it simple and informative. And on this presentation, we mainly have the introduction to the business, BMC, SWOT analysis, and the business recommendation of Dipti bakeries and confectioners. So on my team, I have Sujit, Subham, and Adhita. And moving on about the business, it was started by Mr. George Pradhan on 1978 with an intention to serve organic and health beneficial product to the customer at an affordable price at Upper Bagdogra in Siliguri, West Bengal. And then it was carried forward by Mr. Manik Basu, and now it is mainly operated by a young entrepreneur, Mr. Siddharth Basu. The business mainly produces cake, muffin, cookies, etc. And we would like to extend our great help towards the owner of the business for helping us with the information and data to make this presentation in forward of you all. And also we would like to thank our Rollins College teammates. And moving on towards the presentation and BMCs, now Sujit Paul will be leading the presentation. Thank you everyone.
Thank you, Rakesh. Hello everyone. Business conversion model is a very helpful tool to get a brief insight about the business operation in a more structured way. Diptis has a local supplier of raw materials, distribution of finished goods, and key kitchen staffs are playing a key partners role. As a bakery, they are performing baking, packaging, distributing, and selling activities. By the value proposition, we can get an idea about the enterprise, who they are for its customer. They are dedicated to provide quality and organic products as well as a value for money products. After the interview with them, we have found that they have done very little in the customer relationship aspect, even though they implemented the credit facilities and the discounts. They lost sale in the last few years, despite being implemented the credit facilities. Business has its own capital and land and machine used in baking, human resources divided into outlet and factories. Business has significant material cost, HR cost, fixed cost, and business is mostly generated profit by selling cakes, cookies, snacks, breads. Thank you. Now Shubham will be analyzing SWOT.
Thank you, Shujit, for explaining the BMC. So after analyzing the business more deeply and having conversations with our entrepreneur, we came up with the SWOT analysis, where the enterprise manufactures organic products which can broaden its customer base due to growing number of health cautious people. It provides experienced services and quality products and has gained trust of people, which can attract customers demanding customized and innovative products. It can utilize the expansion options for its outlets through exercising franchisee system in order to overcome its inaccessibility to the potential customers and to improve its marketing tactics to some extent. It faces competition from rivals who provide low-priced substitute products. Though the ongoing pandemic has made people focus more on healthy lifestyle, still the lack of awareness about the organic products has not let the enterprise grow to a great extent. So now I would like Adhita to continue with the recommendations portion. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Shubham. We all know successful businesses are customer oriented. But Deepti's is lacking on the aspect of customer relationship, which is the base of customer-centric business approach. So to solve this concern of Mr. Basu, we are suggesting three recommendations. First one is a cost-less one, where we are asking them to be more frequent on social media, because even though the business has its own account in social medias, it's not very active. By posting photos of products, about offers, even including customer reviews, will be hopefully beneficial for them. Second one may cost them a little, as here we are asking them to create a customer database based on which they can introduce new products, offers, and such. But responders may want some incentive like discounts, free products to fill out the Google or physical forms. So it will may cost them a little. The third one is the most costliest out of our three recommendations. Here we are asking them to introduce various cards, even though students cards, collect your points card will cost them a little, but we are hopeful the membership cards, loyalty cards, and gift cards will gain them more than it will cost them. With that, we are concluding our presentation. We would like to thank Mr. Basu for his cooperation, the whole chain of change team, especially Dr. Conway, Dr. Banerjee, Professor Balsack, and others. Last but not the least, we would like to thank our team members from Rollins College who had contributed a lot. So thank you, Chris, Ivana, Sohel, and Skylar. Thank you all.
Thank you so much to all the students. This is just incredible to see all the hard work that you all put into this and the energy that you all have, and also the interactions between you and the Rollins students. That's just personally my favorite part. So I hope you also enjoyed that. So what I would like to do now is, since we've heard from the all the student teams in India, I would like to invite Professor Josephine Balzac, who was leading the work from the Rollins students side, to share a few remarks with us about the journey and how this program worked in her class and her students.
Thank you so much. I first want to just tell the Indian students how beyond impressed I am with your presentations and all of your hard work, and how much you helped these entrepreneurs in India, a benefit that I'm sure they'll take with them for a lifetime. So of course I have to thank Mary and Yasmin and the Kremer Graduate School for trusting me and my class with this opportunity. You know, there's a quote from Thomas Edison that says, opportunity is missed by people because it's dressed in overalls and looks like work. And I think that all of us embraced this opportunity, even though it may have been challenging or required us, you know, to perhaps put in more effort. But I think, you know, after this final presentation, I always, you know, look back in hindsight and realize that it was all worth it. COVID forced us to be flexible, to be adaptable, and to change. And that's why I love the name, Chain of Change. It's a perfect fit for exactly what we just went through. The engagement between our students, as Yasmin just said, is just so impressive and impactful. This program really embraces the mission of Rollins to prepare our students to be global citizens and responsible leader. This community engagement, and I see Meredith, I just want to say thank you to CLCE for the work that you do and for the ability to be able, you know, to partner and include this into our class. This CE portion of the class enhanced our class and the students' learning by students really understanding the importance of empathy, learning from others, testing their ideas, being able to iterate and change, make adaptations based on the feedback. And both teams of students really use their knowledge and critical thinking skills to help the other teams. Students really, through this program, understood the ideas of leadership, citizenship, civic engagement and awareness, and most importantly, service. In Rollins, we have a motto, life is for service. And I've truly learned in our lifetime, and I believe that serving others is the most important thing that we can do in this life. And so the projects and activities that the students worked on were based on the pressing local and global needs. They engaged in key areas and issues, and our community engagement, we were really seen as co-educators and the activities. So we were all inspired and motivated by your work. We're so appreciative and thankful for the feedback and help that you provided to my students, especially in preparing them for the pitch competition. All teams benefited significantly from your advice and knowledge. Specifically, 3 out of the 5 teams made it to the finals. The Nest, Food for Good, and Asha Box. The finals were last night. I first want to thank specifically Team E that partnered with Asha Box. You connected students to local artisans. You even got a video for the students and connected them with organizations such as TD. And without this help that you gave, there's no way that my students would have been able to make it to the finals. And you really went above and beyond. Lastly, I want to highlight Food for Good and specifically Team C. Last night, they won 2nd place. With your help, they were able to secure seed funding in the amount of $1,000. So this truly was a once in a lifetime opportunity. I believe we all made lifelong friends. And I hope that one day we're all able to meet both in India and in the US. So thank you again for this amazing opportunity.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Professor Balzac. It's just beautiful to hear what comes out when students are committed to learning and to service and to building this global community of change makers. It's beautiful things always happen, and it's wonderful to hear that everyone learned, right? I know I learned a lot. So that was exactly our goal, is that everyone involved will learn, will build relationships. And as Dr. Banerjee mentioned earlier, I truly hope that this is not the closing event, but rather just us reflecting on the learning, but that the relationships that the students built will continue beyond this project or this program. I would also now like to invite another one of our partners. So we were grateful to have the support of the University of Nebraska throughout this process. None of this work would have been possible without their support. So we actually have online with us Patrick McNamara from the University of Nebraska. So I would like to invite him to also share a few reflections and remarks about this project.
Thank you, Yasmin, and congratulations to you, Mary, for steering this project, and Dr. Banerjee, great to see you again, and what wonderful work you're doing. Also, Dr. Balzac, I appreciate your allowing your students to partner. It sounds like they got as much out of this as the entrepreneurs and the students in India did. So wonderful to see that. Yasmin, I know behind the scenes you are running the show. So congrats to you for seeing this come to fruition. One of the things in my position at University of Nebraska, Omaha, I'm the Director of International Studies, and this is a project funded by the US Department of State. We have 15 sub-grantees working on different aspects of US-India relations. And I'll just say that I have heard the diplomats, the ambassadors, the folks doing the tie-ups with universities say again and again that prosperity and economic development is key, job creation is key, and therefore entrepreneurship is key to the success of India and the United States going forward. And so what I've seen from these student presentations is so exciting in that it is going to grow businesses, it is going to grow jobs, and it is going to grow the friendships and the bridges that are being built between the US and India to large and great democracies that share so many values together. So again, what a wonderful joy to start my day here in the United States by sitting in on these student presentations. And wow, wow, wow. Congratulations to all of you. Great work.
Thank you so much, Patrick. And thank you again to the University of Nebraska at Omaha and your entire team for also being flexible and working with us as we changed the structure of the program a few times. So we were grateful to have that support throughout this entire process. Now I would like to invite Dr. Conway, who was leading this entire project, to also share some remarks.
Great. Thank you, Yasmin. And I want to echo the comments of Dr. Banerjee, Professor Balsack, Patrick McNamara, in saying first and foremost, thank you. Thank you for all of the work of the students fundamentally. But I love the way that Patrick mentioned some of the behind the scenes things that happens. And behind the students, and working with them and the entrepreneurs are also many professors, some of whom are online with us today. So, the whole idea of the chain of change, right, is connecting, right? So connecting in this idea of a chain, folks who work together to create a ripple effect. So that chain is consistent of entrepreneurs, of students, of professors, as well as the administrators and the team both here in Rollins and in Winter Park, Florida, and those in India. And so I first and foremost want to just say thank you so much. I remember the first time that we met, right in our first synchronous session, and afterwards we had a conversation with Professor Balsack, and she loves to start her sentences with "wow," right? And so the energy that the Indian students brought and the connection, and it was really an insertion of energy and love that we all very much need in this time of very videoed interactions, right? So I want to applaud the students for doing that, not only in these sessions, which we call the synchronous sessions, but in the multiple asynchronous sessions that happened either on Zoom or on WhatsApp and all those other connections. So I want to say thank you. The other thing that's important for the chain of change is to remember that the idea is for all of us to move from what we're learning in the classroom to the application of that in the field. And so I hope that the students, both at Rollins and in the different universities in India, feel pride in their ability to take what is very theoretical learning and move it into the field to help entrepreneurs. At the same time, learning from those entrepreneurs how to adjust a theoretical thought or what is a BMC, right? And together make that into something that that entrepreneur can use moving forward. Because that's really what helps us to get jobs, to secure work, and to grow, right? To grow as businesses and to grow as individuals. So it's not just being able to regurgitate knowledge that was given to you, but to apply that in a way that positively affects the businesses and then ultimately our community. So helping the businesses to think through. And that's why I love that we had two really emphasizing green businesses and also an organic business, right? And helping our communities to understand why moving in those directions is very helpful. So I'd like to say the true impact is business growth, student learning, and exactly what Patrick said, employment today, but employment for the students moving forward. So what's really important is that you hold on to and document and take responsibility for the learning that you gained and the learning that you shared, because you want to be able to go into the marketplace, not just saying, look at me, I have this degree, but look at me, I have the ability to take the learning that is documented by this piece of paper in my degree and help others to move forward. As Professor Balsack said, that service for others, taking my learning and moving it forward and contributing to others. And so to help you all, entrepreneurs and students, remember that learning and remember to tell your story in a really significant way, we will be sending you both a soft copy and a hard copy of a certificate of accomplishment saying that you have participated, more than participated, actually excelled and completed this program. So please put that in a prominent place. I love that Sangeeta, in the slides that the students showed, right? They showed her documenting some of these acknowledgements. And it's not only because we're proud of ourselves and our acknowledgement, but it commits to this chain of change, these connections among people. And it reminds us to tell our story about the skills that we're developing for ourselves and for others. So please keep an eye out for those certificates, both in the soft form or the e-form and in the hard form. And the other thing that I want to say is, because this is a community engagement course, which is fundamental to the Rollins and the Crummer mission, we are also receiving some funds from Rollins through the community engagement. So thank you very much, Meredith. For many of our Indian students and professors and team, it's the first time we're meeting you, but she is the power behind the throne of community engagement for sure. But it's the students who do the work. We know this, Meredith, right? There's behind the scenes stuff and the students are doing the work. And so we're taking that money that we've received from Rollins, and with the Indian team, Dr. Banerjee, Aisha, Akadipta, and the ideas of the students and the entrepreneurs. And we are going to make some purchases of materials from the entrepreneurs so that we can bring those back to Rollins. So for some of them, that might mean, for example, actual cloth. So we have a business that talks about, the traditional cloth that's coming out of the Assam region, so that we can purchase a little bit of that and bring it here so that folks in Rollins can really put their hands on that and bring it to life and visual. For those who are doing food products, we're looking at bringing recipes and more live photos of foods, right? And of course, we know Sangeeta Sen is really good at taking a solar idea and bringing it into something packable that we can bring home. So we'll show some of her ingenuity, and also for the e-rickshaw to do a kind of mini e-rickshaw so that we can see how that operates. Clearly, we can't bring a full-size rickshaw across the world, but to do a small mini rickshaw. And this will help us to document again the program, but also to enliven the connection and help our folks here at Rollins to quote unquote put your hands on those products. So to me, that brings that full circle, right? From thanking to the application to the true impact in the long term. That reminder those certificates give us of our impact and our desire to continue to impact, and then closing the circle by bringing those products back here to Rollins. So I just want to turn it back over to Yasmin with a final thanks to everyone. This has been super exciting, and I believe that we'll have the opportunity, because of the good work that you guys have done, the students and the entrepreneurs have done, to pitch this to Rollins as a more permanent, ongoing activity. And that's always the hope when we get a grant from the University of Nebraska and the US Department of State, right, is to show that we can continue this type of program. And so that's our job, if you will, is to document that, show the learning and success in hopes that we can create, as Rick Goings from the Global Links Initiative likes to say, repeater stations, right? And so we hope that we create those both in India, at the main universities that are participating, NBU and Tezpur and the University of Calcutta, and then also here at Rollins. So keep your fingers crossed and keep your eyes out, and encourage all the students to please stay in touch with us. That's how we know the impact. Entrepreneurs, share with us your business growth, Share with us your community engagement. Students, share with us your employment. Share with us the learning that you continue to do. That's how we know the programs we're doing today are working. Yasmin?
Thank you so much, Dr. Conway. I can't really top all those wonderful remarks that you all just provided. So at this time, what I would like to ask participants to do, if they could, is to turn on their cameras so we could take a lovely group photo. And with that, we will be concluding our session today.
And Yasmin, as folks turn on their camera, I want to remind you, we are recording this. So I encourage, whether it's any of the universities who want to share that information, or Patrick at the University of Nebraska, if it's helpful for you to see this recording, right, we're happy to share it.
All right. Ready? All right, we're going to take two because we have a lot of participants, so we have a lot of screens. Okay, so ready for number one. Okay, and number two. Big smiles. Wonderful. Thank you all so much. I hope you all stay in touch beyond this program end date, and good luck to everyone who has finals coming up or projects coming up. And we hope to continue hearing all the best news about all of you. Best of luck with everything. Thank you all so much. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Rakesh.